The officer walked into the courtroom like he already owned it. Loud boots. Confident grin. The kind of swagger people wear when they've spent years never being challenged. He barely looked at the judge as he approached the witness stand, which was strange because everyone else did. Judge Evelyn Carter had a reputation. Not because she shouted. Not because she intimidated people. Because she noticed everything. And once she looked at you, there was nowhere left to hide. But Officer Daniels didn't seem concerned. He adjusted his uniform, glanced around the room, then smirked slightly when his eyes finally landed on her. That smirk stayed there too long. Long enough for people to notice. Long enough to become disrespect. Judge Carter looked down at the case file calmly. "Officer Daniels," she said, "you were instructed to provide the complete body camera footage." He shrugged casually. "What you got is enough." A few uncomfortable glances moved through the courtroom. The judge looked up slowly. "That wasn't a suggestion," she replied. The officer leaned against the stand slightly. Relaxed. Almost amused. "With all due respect, Judge," he said, "I've been doing this job longer than you've been sitting behind that bench." The room went silent. Because everybody heard what he really meant. Judge Carter's expression didn't change. Not even slightly. But the prosecutor immediately looked nervous. The officer kept going. "I know how these situations work," he said. "And honestly, I don't think you fully understand what officers deal with out there." A couple people in the gallery shifted uncomfortably. The judge folded her hands. Calm. Still. Dangerously calm. "And what exactly do you think I don't understand?" she asked quietly. The officer chuckled under his breath. "That's not really my point." But it was. Everyone knew it was. He glanced toward the gallery like he expected agreement. Like he expected people to laugh with him. Then he made the mistake. The one that changed everything. "You judges sit up there reading paperwork," he said. "Meanwhile, people like me actually protect the streets." Silence. Heavy. Immediate. The prosecutor closed his eyes briefly. Because now, there was no fixing this. Judge Carter stared at him for several seconds. No anger. No raised voice. Just silence. And somehow, that silence was worse. Then she reached calmly beneath the bench. Pulled out a thin folder. Opened it carefully. "You served 8 years on patrol," she said. The officer blinked. Confused. "Yes." The judge nodded slowly. "I served 12. The room froze. Every head turned toward her. The officer laughed once. Short. Disbelieving. "What?" Judge Carter looked directly at him now. "For 12 years before law school," she said calmly, "I worked organized crime, narcotics, and internal investigations." No one moved. No one breathed. The officer's smirk disappeared instantly. The judge continued flipping through the folder. "I also trained officers on use of force reporting procedures." The prosecutor looked down at the floor. Because suddenly, everything made sense. The judge already knew. She had known from the beginning. And the officer had walked directly into it. "You claimed the missing footage was accidental," she continued quietly. Then she held up a document. "But according to your own department records, the camera was manually disabled." The officer's face drained. Completely. The judge's voice stayed calm. Controlled. "You didn't just disrespect this court today," she said. "You lied to it." The silence in the courtroom became suffocating. Because now, nobody saw him as powerful anymore. Just exposed. The officer swallowed hard. For the first time since entering that room, he looked uncertain. Small. Judge Carter leaned forward slightly. "And Officer Daniels," she added quietly. He looked up. Shaken now. "You should never assume you're the only person in the room who's worn a badge." Nobody spoke after that. Nobody needed to. Because the moment he laughed at that black judge was the exact moment he stopped realizing who she really was.